Hey guys, it's Edwin, back with another video. Today we're going to be taking on some financial questions from Reddit. And don't forget, stop the video, like it, subscribe to my channel. I'll have more content coming to you every week from here on out. Today we're going to be looking at a post by username Intrigued Iguana and how I would handle it. All right, so let's get into this. It reads, I've messed up, accumulated $22,000 in credit card debt. Okay, so I'll start with the bad news. I made some poor choices and financed my lifestyle during senior year of college, plus 3 months after I graduated with credit cards. Accumulated a total of $22,000. Well, with that being said, that's, call it 9 months or so, a year. $22,000. Yeah, that's a good amount of credit card debt to go from 0 to 22,000. But let's continue. To be honest, I've been freaking out the past few months, and in hindsight, can't believe how foolish I was to do this. Regardless, life goes on, and I need to deal with this. The good news, I got a job paying $83,000 a few months ago, and have paid down the debt to $16,000. Can make additional payments of $1 to $2K above minimum payments. Even better news, I made the good decision during the prior 4 years to save a lot in my Roth IRA, meaning in total, roughly $13K in Roth IRA contributions. Should I withdraw my Roth IRA contributions to pay off a large chunk of this debt? How can I pay this off faster? I'm willing to cut back on expenses, no interest yet, but in May, it'll be 20% or more. Before we dive in, let's summarize what we have here. We have a young adult who finished up college, took on $22,000 in their senior year in credit card debt, and has since paid that down to $16,000. That $16,000 balance is on a 0% credit card until May. Once May hits, then that interest rate goes up to 20+% interest. They are considering taking money out of their Roth retirement account to pay off this debt. Now, what would I do in this situation? So I'm going to start off by saying what I'm not going to do. I'm definitely not going to be pulling from any retirement accounts to pay off this debt. Not only are you going to pay a 10% penalty, but all the compound interest over the next 40 years you're going to lose on this money. Now, the thread doesn't say how old you are. I'm going to make an assumption that you're about 25 years old. If you let that $13,000 sit in that retirement account from 25 until 65 at a 10% annual return, you'll have over $700,000 sitting in that account. So some of you might be asking, where did I get the 10% return from? Over the last 25 years, the S&P 500 index fund has had an average annual return of 10.67%. The S&P 500 is a stock market index that tracks the largest 500 companies in the United States. Simply put, it's 500 companies' stock portfolios all averaged into one stock. In my opinion, it's one of the best indicators of how the United States economy is performing. So in no world would I give up $700,000 so that I can pay off a $16,000 debt right now. So as of right now, pulling that money out of your retirement account is not your best answer. Your best go-to right now is to stop funding your retirement account and start paying this debt off completely. There's a really good chance that you probably wouldn't have this debt if you weren't funding the retirement account while you were in college. Now, I do applaud you for trying to save for the future while you're in college, but at this point in life, while you're in school, you don't really need to save for the future. Your main goal is to get through college and hopefully get through college with as little debt as possible. As far as the 20% APR interest rate goes, I'm not worried about that at all. If you go past May by a few months, it doesn't really matter. Even if you didn't pay down the balance 1 penny, you're going to have $265 towards interest each month while you're paying it down. And that's if you didn't pay it down a penny after May. So make double payments, triple payments, quadruple payments, get this thing paid down. And the extra, even if it took you another 2 months, the extra $500, $700 isn't going to hurt you in the long run to get this done. So that 20% APR, that APR stands for annual percentage rate. So to figure out how much interest you're going to be paying per month, you take that APR, that interest rate, that 20%, and you divide it by 12 months. That gives you 1.66% per month of interest that you're paying on the balance. You then take that 1.66% and multiply it by the balance, which was $16,000. That gives you roughly $265 a month or so in interest that you'll be paying. So if it takes you to the end of June to pay it off, that's really not a big deal. It's only going to cost you a little over $500, $530 or so to get this thing knocked out, versus if you took it from your retirement account, it's going to cost you all of that compound growth, $400,000 to $700,000. I know that sounds extreme, but that is the power of compound growth that most people really don't understand. Now, this person on Reddit, they are not alone. A survey completed back in 2022 by Bankrate.com showed 29% of people were using credit cards and held a balance over month to month. So a reoccurring balance every month not being paid off. In 2023, the same survey was completed by Bankrate.com. That number increased to 35%. 35% of people are now carrying balances over month to month. That's an increase of 6% from 2022 to 2023. In that same survey, what might be really startling is 43% of people didn't know what their current interest rate that they were paying. So they could be paying 5%, 2%, or 25%. They have absolutely no idea. And this is not a generational problem. This is not a millennial problem or a Gen Xer or a baby boomer problem. This is something we're seeing completely across the board. And this same study shows that 50% of Gen Zers, 46% of millennials, 43% of Gen Xers, and 39% of baby boomers all did not know the interest rate percentage that they were currently paying on their credit cards. It raises a question in my head, how many people were trying to take advantage of the points, the travel rewards, all of the cash back options that you get from having a credit card? I have to imagine that the vast majority of people were initially looking to pay off the balance at the end of each month, and then something happened and they couldn't. My recommendation is to never spend more on your credit card than you have in your savings account. So if you can't pay it off at the end of each month, then you should not have a credit card. Now let's talk about if you were to make the minimum payments on the $16,000 credit card. If you were to make minimum payments of 1% of the principal balance at a 20% interest rate, that would bring your payment monthly to $426 or so. It would take you almost 33 years to pay off $16,000 in debt. If your minimum payment was 3% of the principal at the 20% interest rate, your payment would be around $480 as a minimum payment. It would take you 25 years to pay off $16,000 in credit card debt. Depending on where your minimum payment is, you're going to pay anywhere between $20,000 and $26,000 just in interest, not including the $16,000 originally owned, to get this card paid off. And remember, in this 20 to 30 year process, you are not adding a penny to the card. You are just making the minimum payments, and you can't put anything more onto it. Otherwise, it's going to extend the life of the card and extend your payments out. Most of these credit card companies do not require you to have a balance that moves over month to month. So you can pay these cards off at the very end of every month without accruing any interest. If you do this, you should be able to reap the rewards of points, travel perks, cash back. All of those things are offered on a lot of different credit cards. So try not to use your credit card for purchases you don't have the cash for. If you can't pay it off at the end of the month, then don't use your credit card. If you want a topic covered, just drop in the comments or shoot me an email. All my information is on my channel. So yeah, just check it out there. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Hopefully you got some information out of this. Never pull from your retirement account to pay off any kind of debt. You can always work through it using your income. It'll end up saving you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run. So please like and subscribe. We'll have more videos up for you soon. Thanks.